Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mariah and I talk about books and bookish things on my channel. If you're returning, thank you so much for stopping by. I really love to see the returning and I love to respond to all the comments. So if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I talk about books and bookish things, as I just said. Today we're going to focus more on that second part, the bookish things, and here is why. Another facet of my personality that I don't really get to talk about much on this channel is my love of video games. I've been an avid gamer since about the time that my mom let me pick up a controller. I've played everything from comedic retellings to horror games, from platformers to 8-bits. I've played the range, and while I don't normally enjoy things like first-person shooters, my passion since I was a child has been point-and-click adventures. Now, I was trying to figure out a way to merge these two without taking away from the fact that I'm primarily a bookish channel. And the way that I resolved this was I started playing video games based on books, or based on bookish things. What I mean by this is not Doki Doki Literature Club, which is an odd dating sim. Just throwing that out there. What I'm talking about is books like, or games like Alice, American McGee's Alice, and the sequel, Madness Returns. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today I'm here to talk about something that merges one of my loves, which is Lovecraftian horror, and a point-and-click adventure. As you can tell, I am a huge Cthulhu fan. That is a Cthulhu wood burning, that is a Cthulhu pop, and that is Cthulhu. He is also a Cthulhu. But he's very cute. He's a cute Cthulhu. And when I started playing a game called Call of Cthulhu, which is fantastic, beautiful graphics, excellent storyline, and it's very independent from the Lovecraft itself. Now, before I get into continuing on with the fact that I love Lovecraftian horror, we have to confront the elephant in the room. Lovecraft was xenophobic, misogynistic, racist. There was very few redeeming features for the man. His work, however, with all of its numerous problems, redefined horror and science fiction and managed to merge both of them in a way that hadn't quite been done before. Science fiction before Lovecraft was things like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, H.G. Wells, Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, what we could do with science. Lovecraft took that science fiction fantasy border, he blurred it, and then he added like eldritch horrors. I don't know what the man was on, honestly. It's weird. And his obsession with New England, also weird. But he also helped give birth to the idea that New England's whaling towns hid some dark secrets. Now, I am not making apologies for the man. He was an asshole, and we should never forget that. And in fact, we shouldn't celebrate it as much as he is. But what we can do is celebrate the genre of horror, which is also known as eldritch horror, that he created, and that is being retaken by authors of all type and spun into entirely different directions that the man who created it could have never imagined. With all of this in mind, it is hard for me to sit here and tell you to pick up something that is Lovecraft based, which is why I'm recommending the game Gibbous, a Cthulhu mystery or Cthulhu adventure. Gibbous is an entirely different, is set in a Lovecraftian world. It's based off of the universe that Lovecraft created without all the problems that Lovecraft had. And this is where Lovecraftian horror comes in. So the idea that you could take somebody's work and make an AU out of it, essentially an alternate universe, is something that's prevalent in fandoms. And imagine if that your fandom got spun into an entire genre of literature. And that's Lovecraftian horror. Gibbous is a comedic comedic horror point-and-click adventure where you play through a number of you play two main characters. You play Don Archetype. Yes, you heard that right. Don Archetype, as in an archetype, who is the grizzled PI that we meet at the beginning of the game. And we also play the lovable, if completely out of his league Buzz Kerwin, who is a librarian, and his cat Kitty. Kitteh. I can't make this up, folks. Kitty. Now, these three characters, the game starts with Don entering the library and looking for the Necronomicon. And then he is kidnapped by cultists. And it goes on to be a quick, it's about 6 hours gameplay, point and click adventure with some great characters that you meet all throughout it and some great little dialogues and quips. This isn't to say that some of the game itself was a little flawed in the way that it flowed and the way that it played. However, it was a very fun point and click adventure for a lover of point and click adventures. You get to you solve various puzzles all based off the environment around you using key items to solve those puzzles. The idea behind this is that the more you click, the more you'll know, the easier it'll be to solve the mystery. You meet a whole range of characters, including Priscilla. These side characters help make the story a rich and engaging experience. The environment is very interactive with a lot of hotspots in every place you go. You travel from the beginning to Fishmouth, aka Innsmouth, to Fishmouth, to Paris and Transylvania, and to points in South America, all trying to track down this elusive criminal. I'm not going to spoil it anymore from you because that was part of the fun for me. It's a quick game. I easily platinumed it on Steam. I have the little ribbon telling me I won, and the actual thought that went in behind this is fascinating, and I really wish that they had expanded more, and I will be looking for more from these creators. The creators of this indie game are a small Romanian studio, and they did excellent with the voice casting, with the backgrounds, which are lush and beautiful and interactive, with the character designs, and the puzzles for the most part. There are a few things that you should be aware of going in, though. There is the jokes that riff on Lovecraftian themes, such as xenophobia. The people of Fishmouth don't really like strangers, and that is a recurring theme in many of Lovecraft's stories involving Innsmouth. Additionally, you'll get a few appearances of characters from Lovecraft stories. However, you don't need to have read any Lovecraft to love this game. The biggest thing you need to have is creativity and a willingness to explore the environment. Now, with all that being said, I give this game a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And the reason I'm not giving it a full 5 stars is because some of the puzzles did seem a little annoying to figure out. However, the story was lush, beautifully designed backgrounds, and it's a really fun point and click game. The idea of cultists warring, and not like warring like calling each other names and, you know, essentially imagine like fandoms at a convention all fighting each other without actually fighting. There are discussions of Dagon and these gods that show up, these eldritch beings that show up from Lovecraft stories, but again, you don't have to know who they are to just know that there are cults following them. If you are looking for a Lovecraftian game and you love point and click and you love something that'll make you laugh at some of the recurring themes in Lovecraft, pick up Gibbous. If you liked what you saw, please stay tuned. I'm definitely going to be playing more Bookish games, and I'm going to start returning to some of my favorite games that are based off of literature, such as Sherlock Holmes and Nancy Drew, which I also love. If you're looking for more book content, I have plenty of that on my channel. You can always just click it and head on over there. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment down below. What's your favorite game? How do you feel about Lovecraft? Let me know down in the comments. I try to post Thursdays and Sundays, and I try to do at least one live during the week. Sometimes it takes the place of one of my videos. but I'm always on Twitter, and I can always be reached on Twitter, and you can find me on my blog on Mondays and Fridays. I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that this very turbulent month, if you've been in the United States, has treated you well, and I can't wait to see you guys again later this week. Until then, all the best coffee, wine, and books to you. Cheers.